Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to this mini series, and today we're going to be talking about crow pose. No, not the pose I was thinking about. This is what I was thinking about. Okay, so being serious, crow pose. And throughout the last month, I've actually been focusing a lot about crow pose and that progression within class. So I thought I'd bring you this little mini series so that you can continue that practice at home, so that you can really work to progress with that pose and help to achieve that end goal of holding it, possibly maybe for a few seconds, maybe even a minute. So let's get started and I'll talk you through some little top tips for how to do crow. Okay, so my number one tip is going to be to have either a yoga block, you could even use a cushion, and this just acts as a little safety but also a bit of a confidence boost, because I think a lot of what happens with crow is that people have the strength, they have the mobility, the flexibility to do it, but actually it's the confidence that takes them back and doesn't allow them to give that pose a go. So using a block can be really helpful. So let's get ourselves set up. So ideally you would want to be doing this warm. So my recommendation would be maybe to do the yoga fit for the arms session. That works a lot with warming up this area and also actually targeting those muscles. So maybe try that one first and then step into this session so that you can work on your crow. And then when you're ready and you've done that, so you can place your block or cushion in front of you. And if you do have a block, it's quite handy because you can actually pop it up onto the high end here. And ultimately, when you get into that crow pose, you can actually bring your forehead almost down onto it and start to use it as kind of a little bit of a prop, but also as a safety. Popping out cushions and things as well, or a soft maybe blanket underneath is always helpful as well, just to help boost your confidence. So firstly, you want to get yourself into your little yogi squat position. So if you don't tend to find that your heels touch the ground like mine do, you can actually pop maybe some yoga blocks or a rolled up blanket or even a rolled up yoga mat underneath your heels. And that's going to help with the initial sort of balancing, because as you can see when I'm up on my toes here, it's a little bit wobbly. So firstly, coming into this posture, and then from here we're going to lower the fingers down just in front of us. And the first thing to start to check, and I've already kind of done it automatically, is with just my palms down on the ground in front of me, I want to check where my elbow is in relation to my knee. So as I start to sort of lift up onto the balls of my feet, I want to try and almost hook my knee onto my upper arm, just above that bony part of my elbow. And I want to do that on both sides. So that's the first little one. From there, you'll be able to position your hands and just find where they need to be to help support that. So make sure you've got your block or cushion in front of you. And you can kind of use this as a safety, but my number one tip, the sort of most important tip of all, is actually where you're looking when it comes to crow. And sometimes by using the block, you're not able to do this. And I hear a lot of people say that this eye gaze is kind of the key to them being able to achieve their crow. So it's a bit of a game changer. But I'll show you both ways. So fingers are nice and wide. The other thing with the fingers is you almost want to press the pads of the fingers down, so you're almost doing like a little grip with the fingers. And I'm on this carpet in here, which I can actually get a nice little grip going. So you've got your elbows in position, your hands with a nice little grip going on. You've got your block or your cushion in front of you for a bit of safety. And then from there, come up onto the balls of the feet. And you're going to start by actually sending your bottom a little higher, taking the weight out of the arms and the legs. From here, start to tilt forwards. And what you can start with is basically just rocking forwards and back. So if you've been to a class of mine before, you know we do a lot of this in preparation. I actually think my block might be a little bit too close to the body, so you can also check that as you begin to rock back and forwards. So the eye gaze, I want you to start using this eye gaze. So the temptation is going to be to look down to this block. I don't want you to do that. I want you to look in front of you. So it's going to feel a bit unusual, but trust that your body has got you and keep looking forwards. From here, you might want to then just start to take a bit more pressure and weight into the arms. So you can actually start to do some little hops. So you're literally, for a moment, taking the weight onto the arms, into the hands, and hopping those feet up. Again, make sure that the gaze is forwards and not down to that block. From here, once you feel really confident in that, and it's a progressive approach, you want to work on it gradually and not just push yourself straight away, because otherwise you'll probably land up doing a little roly-poly. It's something that takes time. So then from here, you might want to then still that position, come up onto the toes, come forwards, and then just explore lifting your toes up. So again, look forwards, and I also find pointing the toes and squeezing through the legs, the thighs, helps. So again, onto the other side, and then down. And then the natural progression from there is to start to lift up both feet. So it may be that you come into that position, your fingers are like little grips. You're coming forwards, you're looking forwards, and then maybe you're taking one foot off the ground, coming onto the tippy toes, followed by the other. And you'll see that I'm pointing my toes, really active through my belly, through my thighs, and I'm looking forwards. So important. And as you can hear, I'm out of breath. It's a move that looks like you're just putting a lot of weight into your arms, but if you're doing it well, you're not just dumping out through the arms, you're not just putting all your weight there, you're actually really active through the legs, through the core. You want to engage those muscles so that actually you stay solid, because if I don't squeeze my legs, they're just going to fall out to the sides. So I've really got to squeeze my legs in to help myself balance into that crow pose. Now, don't be afraid that when you get started, you may get some bruises because we've been working on this throughout the last month. I've definitely found I get a few little bruise marks on the backs of the arms. So if you're afraid of that or you don't want that, then crow might not be for you. But don't be afraid that that may happen. Just make sure that you always are safe. You're not wearing any glasses or anything that might injure you. And also, if you're new to crow, I would highly recommend popping some cushions in front of you and just making sure that you're practicing really safely. So thank you so much for joining me for this mini series. I wish you so much luck and success with your crow pose, and if you master it and you find these tips helpful, please share. I love it when people send me their crow poses, their videos, their pictures, the excitement on people's faces when they achieve this pose. It is just amazing, and I love to share that, you know, to be part of that and for you to share that with me. So please do. I would love to see that, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.